What is the best way to spend $1,000 on a Toyota MR2 Spyder? That is what this video is about. This is my 2001 Spyder. This is a Gen 3 Mark III Toyota MR2 Spyder mid-engine rear-wheel drive convertible 2-seat Spyder. And I am really excited. I hope it shows through in the way I'm talking today about this car. I've done a bunch of builds. This is my 39th car that I've owned, and probably half of those I've built, fixed, modified. Guys, this has been one of the most fun and rewarding. And this video is going to take you through what do you get if your budget is about $1,000? What can you do to one of these cars? Now, these are really cool cars. My suggestion, and I'll be doing another video on this soon, is don't get a beater under $5,000 because they're beat. And then you can get the expensive ones. You know, these are $12,000, $15,000 plus. But right in that $5,000 to $10,000 range, you can get something like this. That's a driven car. It's not perfect. It's got its dents. It's got some miles, but it's in really good shape and will last a while. And that's what I've got here. So this was a budget build for me. When I say $1,000, like any sports car or really any car, you can spend an unlimited amount of money on bracing, engine swaps, turbos, superchargers, you know, springs, coils, suspension, all the things. And I chose not to do that here just because, again, if I'm spending $5,000 to $10,000 on a car and I'm going to sell it one day, then I want to get that money back out of it. And if I start going crazy with the mods, it's just not worth it. So with this car, I chose to keep it at around $1,000. That was sort of my goal, and I did. I'm going to show you my list here. And this is exactly what I'm going to take you through right now, and I will have links in the description to most or all of these if I can dig them up. And I spent right at $996 on this car. And let me say this before I go through them. I think it's really important, if you're watching this, especially if you're younger and you don't have a lot of money, don't spend all your money on the mods. You want to maintain the car first. And so I spent a little more than that $1,000. I've spent a few hundred beyond that, doing some things to just maintain this car, fluids, filters, all that kind of stuff. So that's the important thing. Don't get a car and just spend all your money on mods. But having said that, once you get it running well, once you're comfortable with it, once you could drive it, you know, on a road trip and feel safe that it's going to make it, what is the best way to put $1,000 into one of these? And so I thought this out pretty seriously, and this is what I've done. And I spent $996 on what I'm about to show you. So we'll start with the interior, and then we'll go to the engine bay and some exterior stuff. The first thing for $16 is, this is a must do on these cars, is the armrest. This is actually for an Audi. You just do a little bit of slight modification, and it is wonderful because gear shift, elbow hits right here. And instead of hard plastic, you have this wonderful, wonderful armrest. And you do lose your cup holder and a little storage bin, but you have cup holders here, so not the end of the world. And then the next thing is the short shifter. This was a little more expensive. You'll see here, kind of the first half of these mods were really, performance type things, in terms of like things that enhance the performance and feel of the car, whereas the second half were really all aesthetic things. But this for me was a must, and this is one of the more expensive ones, $174. This is the Super Class shifter, and I actually just finished installing this last night, and this is amazing. This is a 40% reduction in throw. It also drops the shifter 1 or 2 inches, and it is absolutely wonderful. I read about these and decided I wanted to get it. They are German made and shipped from Germany, and it was worth the wait. It took 4 weeks to get here. And so this is a must-have short shifter. And then shift bushings, which firms up the feel just a little bit in these cars. I did the shift bushings. These were pretty inexpensive. I think my quoted number there was $22 for both of them. And you can actually see these right here. There's one and there's the other. Very common mod to do on cars where you just put in solid shift bushings and substituted for the squishy ones that come from the factory, which usually are worn out anyway with this mileage. And so that firms up the shifting just a little bit. And then the next thing I did was the mount insert. So instead of getting a whole new motor mount, which often are too thick, you can probably just see through that hole, that yellow. And there's one there, that's the back one. And there's another one about 2 feet up, which is the front motor mount. And those inserts are super easy. By the way, this is a very, very easy car to work on. And they go in, they firm up the shift. They don't add a lot of vibration or NVH, but they do make the car feel much more connected. And then the next thing I did was the intake. And this was a bit of a splurge, $285. I went with the MWR intake. And for me, again, it was all about how do I spend the money? You know, what am I going to get out of the car when I sell it? Don't want to go crazy. I just wanted some more noise. And so I did a lot of research, listened to a lot of sound clips. You can actually make your own intake for like $50. I just decided that I've done that, and I just decided I was going to splurge a little on this car. And so I did. That's the thing that cost me the most money, but I am super, super happy with that. It sounds incredible. It's right behind you. When you start the car up, you can see the intake is right here. It is really a cold air intake. It's removed from the heat of the engine, and you can hear from this vent, you can hear the intake working. So great product there. And then finally, kind of ending the stuff here on the back of the car. And this is where we start getting into the appearance. We have this rear spoiler, which I covered in another video, but this is the DAR rear spoiler, and I've used these on other cars before, and I think this is just the perfect look for this car. And this was another splurge. It was painted. It's $255. These are, by the way, including tax and shipping. And so it was $250 tax shipping, painted to match the car, and it just came and I installed it, wired it up, super great. I think it just looks great. That was a bit of a splurge again, but you know, for me, for my $1,000, I was like, I want that to be a chunk of it, because to me these cars just look kind of it doesn't look right without a spoiler. I think it really helps the look. And then a few aesthetic mods here. Stubby antenna replaces the big long weird one that comes from the factory. And then I went with these vintage caps here. You can see those valve stem caps, also some vintage labels. This is the classic Toyota, the red, orange, yellow. The red is supposed to be on the left, by the way. I've seen them backwards. So those were just a short, you know, small expenditure there. And then this was another must, and this was $44 shipped. That's not cheap. But I just had to have these, I don't know if this is JDM or European, but the midship runabout badge was something I just really wanted on the car to accent it. It looks a little different. You kind of can't tell it's a Toyota from that view because there's no T that would normally be there. Not that I'm ashamed of that, but the midship runabout badge is cool. And then this front lip here, this is actually a no-name easy lip, which was $17. And I think it looks great. Super budget. Spent a little money for the screws to screw that in, but that installs in 15 minutes or less, and it's wonderful. Then I spent $20 restoring the headlights. They're not perfect. I've got some cracks there. This is an old car, not a perfect car. It was definitely a driver, but they look really good in person, and not perfect, but it really cleaned them up. They were kind of yellowing. And then to round out my $1,000, I spent $19 on dye, and this is very easy to do, to dye the top of the car and get it back to a nice dark. It was kind of more of a lighter gray after all the years in the sun, and got it looking good. So for me, I came in at $996 for all that. Budget build. Again, I have spent a little more than that on some other things, you know, including the maintenance, the oil, transmission flush, you know, a few other things. But for under $1,000, I have really improved the car in some very basic aesthetic and drivability mods. So these cars are growing in appreciation. People are growing in their appreciation for these cars. I've just noticed this. You know, I've kind of been hunting for one for the last year or so, and I've looked at 7 or 8, and I found this one. It kind of just took my heart. Needed some love, but was a great place to start. And I've noticed, because I'm learning a lot about these cars, I've only owned this 4 or 5 weeks, but these are really starting to be discovered. And I don't think they're ever going to be like, you know, jump up in value, but I do think that the appreciation for them, especially if you're looking for a inexpensive, great, reliable car that's weird, unique, and has some great potential for modifications. This is a great one. So I appreciate you watching. Hope this helps. I will link these products in the description. And if you have questions about the MR2 Spyder, let me have them. I highly recommend this. This has been a great project, and I don't know if I want to sell this one. It's tons of fun. Hey, thanks for watching. Peace to you, and God bless you.